Welcome once again to the second session, second part of the story Flying Together. In the earlier session, we discussed, we read the story, we understood, we comprehended, we threw light on some of the vocabulary items, like we discussed some of the words, some of the phrases, we got some idiom, and we discussed on its comprehension part, throwing some light on the types of key points that we have to keep in mind while answering the questions, how to write answers for the WH questions. Now, my dear children, we have the next part of this story. We have the next part of the activities. Let's see. The first thing is, let's write. We have some writing tasks for you. The words in the first question goes like this. The words in the clouds. You will see the clouds. It's there in the textbook. You just go through it. The words in the clouds describe something or someone in the story. Name them in the blanks provided. Now, you all have learnt in your basic language classes that there are nouns, there are pronouns, there are adjectives, there are adverbs, there are verbs. Now here, you all must know, or I think you all know that we have words called adjectives, right? We have these words, adjectives, which describe something or someone. Now in the story, while we were reading the story, we have come across several words which were describing either the geese or the hunter or the wise old bird and several other things, right? So we have, what the task is, that some words are given to you. The adjectives are given to you, and you have to find out from the story which adjective fits with which noun or which person or which thing, right? I think the exercise is not that difficult. Name them in the blanks provided, and this task is followed by one more task. We'll get back to it. First, let us see this. First one, wise. Wise is used for wise old bird. Even old is also an adjective here. Now, careless, you guess careless was used for whom? Tall. Tall was used for whom? For what? Thick and strong. Foolish. So these are some of the adjectives given for describing a person, describing someone, or somebody or something. You have to read the story once again, locate for these adjectives in the story and see for which noun or for which thing or for which person or for which thing these words have been used to describe. I think you can use it, you can do it easily. For next one. Now, the previous thing that I was telling, that make sentences of your own with the words given in the clouds. Now, one task, this question has got two parts. One is, first you have to identify the nouns, or you can say the someone or something or some person, name or whatever is given in the story. You have to locate, match it with these adjectives that are given in the clouds. Now, this is one part. This is the second part of the question, that now forget the story. You have to frame sentences using these words on your own. For example, foolish or tall or careless. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 clouds have got 5 adjectives describing something. Now, one part was of the story. Now you have to use these adjectives and you have to frame sentences on your own. And these are adjectives, so what should be the structure? Sentences What should be the structure of these sentences? First, you will be think of a subject. Think of a subject. Think of a verb that will go with it. Then you can put an adjective. Then you can put a noun there. For example, this is a tall tree. Or there's a tall mango tree in front of my house. Right? So you can think there is a tall mango tree. You see, tall mango tree. Mango tree is the thing that is being described by the adjective tall. This is one small example that I have given, and my dear children, I think you can easily do the next other 4 adjectives. Now moving on to the next exercise. Here are some answers about the given picture. You can see a picture. What is this picture? This picture is of an ant, right? What is the color? The color, it is described. There are certain things mentioned about this ant. What are the points mentioned about this ant? The color of the ant is black. It lives on land. It has 2 long antennae. It crawls on the ground. It eats sugar. These are some of the characteristics. These are some of the things that you might have observed with the ants, right? Now, what is the task? Task is, now frame questions for the above answers. What is the first sentence? What is the first description given? The color of the ant is black. So now, if you see the structure, the color of the ant is black. Definitely, what must have been the question? The question must have been, what is the color of the ant? Right? So, black is something which is describing about its color. Right? So, here it is using the WH word, what? Right? Because it is telling about something. What is that something? Is the black color. Right? And whose black color? It is of the ant. So the color of the ant is black. The question should be, what is the color of the ant? Next is, you see, next sentence. It lives on land. It lives on land. Note here. It lives. Lives is what? It's a verb, right? And on land. It is telling us about the place. My dear children, note here, it is mentioning about the place. It lives on land, right? So if it is a place, you have to immediately recollect all the WH words that I had mentioned in one of my sessions. What are those WH words? Which is that WH word which is used to frame a question which will have the answer of place? I think, children, you have guessed it. Yes, your guess is correct. It is where. Where is the WH word which will be used here. Now you have to also look here that it lives on land. Now the verb is lives. Lives is verb plus main verb live plus s. That means it is simple present tense. Right? It lives on land. So which helping verb should I use to frame this question? I cannot write where it lives. It is not a correct question. So what will I do? I will be taking help of an auxiliary verb. And what is that auxiliary verb which will be used here? It will be does. Where does it live? It here refers to ant. And here, instead of using the verb, the noun ant, again and again, we have replaced it with the pronoun it. This also has to be noted here. So, where does it live? And the answer is, it lives on land. I think my children are following what I am saying. And let us not forget, after every question, it should end with, after writing this whole question, we should finish it, we should end it with a proper punctuation mark. So here the punctuation mark would be a question mark. If you don't put that question mark, it is not complete. It will be considered as an error, as a mistake. Similarly, you can frame question for the next. It has 2 long antennae. It crawls on the ground. It eats sugar. Now, if you see the last one, it eats sugar. It eats sugar. Sugar is something. That means you can guess that it is talking about something. That means what it eats. So, which WH word can be used here? Which WH word can be used here to frame a question? Right, absolutely right. It should be what. So, what does it eat? It eats sugar. This is how you have to frame the questions. I think you all have understood properly and you can easily take help of the ones that I have discussed and you can do the other 2. Now moving on to another very important part of our language. Whenever we talk about speaking, writing, English, we know that the prepositions play an important role. What are prepositions now? You must have been introduced with this, or maybe first time, but you must have come across this word prepositions, or you forget about the word prepositions. You must have come across certain words which tell you that what is the relation between 2 things. For example, if I say, the book is kept on the table. The book which is there with me, it is kept on the table. So there are 2 things. One is this table and another is the book. This book and the table has got a relation. What is that relation? That this book is not kept anywhere else. It is kept on this table. So the word on is giving me a clue that what is the relation between this table and this book. So any word that gives us an idea about the relation between 2 things, 2 actions, a noun and a verb, or a noun and another noun, then we say that it is a preposition. Let us take some examples. Let us take this exercise. You will understand it better. Fill in the blanks with a preposition such as to, at, of, on, in, into, with. See the first one. First one has been done for you. This tree was the home of a flock of wild geese. Before doing this question, I would advise you all to go through the story once again. Try to locate all those words which are describing the relation between 2 things. For example, some of these sentences have been taken from the story. This tree was the home of a flock of wild geese. He noticed the creeper. Who noticed the creeper? The wise old bird. He noticed the creeper dash the foot of the tree. Where did he notice? He noticed at the foot of the tree. So this shows the relation between the creeper and the tree. Now, next one is, it would be a pity dash destroy it now. Here, it would be a pity to destroy it now. Why to destroy it now? To do some, it's again showing an action. It would be pity. It would not be good. It will not show a very good gesture if we destroy it. So they are saying it would be pity to destroy. So the preposition used here is to. Now similarly we have other sentences. As they flew the tree they were trapped. The boy ran dash the dog. The frogs jumped dash the well. The girl was thrilled dash see her new bicycle. The birds were caught dash the net. The children walked dash the bridge. So shall we do it, or Okay, we'll do it. We'll solve it. No problem. It would be a pity to destroy. We have done it. Next one. As the flew, dash the tree, they were trapped. As they flew, what is it? Could you locate? Off the tree. Yes, you can tell. The boy ran with the dog. The frogs jumped into the well. Now, I don't think it would be advisable to tell all the answers. Rest you can try out. We'll move on to the next one. Here, there are some more prepositions given to you, and you can just try out. Complete the paragraph. It's a paragraph given to you. It's a part of a story and another story, and you can just read it and try to use the prepositions given. Around, across, with, along, to, after, next to, into, from. Using these prepositions, you have to fill up these blanks. One day, as I was walking along the bank of the river, I saw my friend running across the field. Right. He was calling my name and waving. Yes. Then I stopped and waited. After some time, he reached where I was standing. He said, I went all along the town. So here you have these all around the town. You have these prepositions and you have to use them to complete the story. Hope you enjoy doing it. Next, fill in the blanks given below with question words. For example, where do you live? Now, when I said question words, I hope you all remember. You can recollect whatever we discussed in our previous section using WH words, other question words. Now, here you have dash do you play. Now, here you can have several options. Which options are correct? Which options can be taken? Dash do you play? It can be where do you play? When do you play? Right? So it depends on you in what way you want to take this question. The next is dash do you get up? Again, it's very clear because this is a very common sentence which is asked by everyone. When do you get up? Right? So I have used the question word when. Now let us see the fifth one. Dash do you like best in school? Games, art or music? Here you are given a choice. So whenever you are given a choice like this, which do you like the best in school? Games, art or music? So the question word here is which. So again you have to use these question words, WH questions. Even you can frame the questions using yes-no question words like is or using all the auxiliary verbs. But here you are supposed to be using only WH words. So with this we come to the end of your section, right? So you can try out. So whatever we have learnt is use of WH words, use of prepositions, use of correct verb, then difference between the noun and the verb, having little difference in the spelling, then using different types of structure of a question, how to frame a question, what are adjectives. All these things have been discussed in this session. Hope you enjoyed it. Please keep all these things in mind. Whatever we have discussed, use all those points. Keeping all those points in mind, try out these questions so that you can enjoy. Thank you. Have a nice day.